Good morning, all. Welcome to this new session, CompTIA Cloud Plus. And people who joined today, can you hear me properly? Is there any issues? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. There's no issues.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Harshit. And Jayant and other persons are, yeah, okay, people are joining now anyway. I will just start that because it's already been 5-6 minutes. It's gone. Here about 10 minutes has gone, so okay. Thank you for joining. Okay. Thank you for joining today. And the last week I was talking about the FI APM. That is an application, like access policy manager. It's called this. That is a FI product. Actually, we just need to learn about how to create the web tabs and other things. Like screens will be coming up. The people will be clicking that, and they'll be accessing those through the web browser itself. Like you can access the Windows server, Linux servers, application servers, databases, connectivity to the AWS and other things, clouds and other things. And we can create the VPNs as well through that. And we can have the VPN clients also installed in the people's computers. So there is a FI product which I was talking about that because I'm doing a project on that FI APM nowadays, Access Policy Manager it's called. Today, we will talk about that something on a CompTIA. CompTIA has been there for last 15 years. I can just very well know about this because they are very good in the market for the certifications called the A+ and the N+. They're very famous. And they are even competing with the Cisco certifications also. A+ means it will talk about the operating systems and the server operating systems as well, like desktop operating systems and server operating systems. Like in the desktop operating systems, we'll be learning about Windows 7. Earlier, it was like a Windows XP and all they were there. Then they make it like a Windows 7. Now they made it like a Windows 10 desktop operating systems. That is for the clients like that, they will be taking that. And A+ contains about the Windows operating systems also. Means like we have the network servers like Windows 2008, Windows 2012 R2, 16, 19. Now I guess it's a 22 is coming up. There is the latest news has come. Windows Server 2022 is coming up. Maybe in next 3 to 4 months it is getting released. So these are all the things that has been discussed on the A+ certifications in CompTIA. And N+ is also been there. That is talking about that network certification. So you will be having all the basic network necessities. What are the cable connectors, topologies, bus ring, star topology, and what all the devices are used for to connect the network equipments like servers and clients, routers, switches, firewalls, load balancers, and the IP addressing standards, and they'll talk about some subnetting also, and verifying the connectivity with the server to the clients as well, like through the network. And what all the cables are used, what is the cable type is being used. It's like a part of CCNA. I can just say it's not a full CCNA. It's a part of CCNA. Like there was 2 certifications for there in CCNA earlier, ICND 1 and ICND 2. I was talking about this before 5, I guess maybe like 6 to 7 years back. Like it was ICND 1 and 2. That ICND 1 is actually equal to the CompTIA Network Plus. That I can definitely say that. So they were quite creating the people, like the skill sets for the lower level, means like L1 level or L2 level, L1 point level, L1.5 level. Like that they were creating with that CompTIA certification. They are quite good in the market also because many people are recruiting the people who have certified on the CompTIA A+ and N+. And they've been taken it for the monitorings and log analysis and all, like L1 jobs and all people will be doing that. In ITL format, we just call it as like an L1, level 1 people. So you don't require to have some very good knowledge about the network or a server operating system or something, but you should be knowing that how to operate all these things, how to log into the devices and how to access that, and what all the basic credentials are required. How do you create those things, and how do you check the operating system is running by just running what is the IP address assigned for the server, like typing the IP config on the command prompt. These are very basic things which has been covered up on the A+ and N+. The people are very much easily getting hired for their CompTIA certifications. And they have got so many other certifications as well. CompTIA, now they come up with the called the Cloud Plus. So everything is a plus only, like A plus, N plus, now it is a Cloud Plus. Security Plus is also there. That is talking about CCNA security level, not up to that much, not up to that much level or something, but they will be talking about security, like how the integrations has been happened and what all the encryption and decryption algorithms are there. How to configure the firewall policies, access control lists, NADing and patting, and other things has been covered on the CompTIA Security Plus certifications. Like they have come up with the Cloud Plus certifications. I was seeing that this is quite interesting actually. It is not talking about anything on a specific about that, because when you go for a cloud level certifications on which is currently available on the market, is the number one is AWS, and the number 2 and 3 and 4 and other things. So they are all actually a lot of competition is happening on, like with the AWS. The Microsoft Azure has got certification, as well as Google Cloud has got a certification. Alibaba Cloud has got a certifications, and DigitalOcean is also another cloud. CenturyLink Cloud is there. Many clouds are there. Oracle Cloud is there. IBM Cloud is there. So when you go to the certification like that, people looking for the AWS certified people normally, that is what been considered a good certification in the market on the AWS is the number one in the market. But Azure is also keeping up in the momentum, so because people are going for an Azure as well. Means because of the Microsoft products, when they try to introduce it to the cloud, in the sense they will go for a Microsoft Azure product, like Microsoft Azure Cloud it is. So earlier, until 2012 and all like that, we used to configure it like it's an individual server. Then we will connect to some clients and other things. Now the Azure is promoting everything on the cloud itself. Right? That's what the model they are bringing up nowadays. So that is about the Microsoft Azure I'm talking about. Cloud, Google Cloud. Anyway, it is talking about the open source platform completely. We can integrate any operating systems on the Google Cloud, and it is quite famous on certain countries only. It's not in everywhere. But Azure and AWS is everywhere. You can say AWS is number one. It's everywhere. Here about 140, 150 countries are there. They are present. And Azure is also gaining up in the market. Like they are competing like that, number 2 like that. So whenever you're talking about the Microsoft product need to be introduced to the cloud, in the sense everyone goes for a Microsoft cloud. That is Microsoft Azure cloud. When you look for an open source platform like that, when you try to integrate Linux and other platforms as well, third-party integrations need to be made. And like when you go for a multiple firewalls, you need to get introduced to the cloud or something. So when you try to create a firewalls between your on-premises network to the cloud as well as to the local data centers as well, people are preferring the AWS. I'm doing a lot of projects on AWS as well. So it is about the competition is happening on the cloud market. So as soon as whenever there is a recruitment is happening, requirement is coming up, in the sense they look for people who are coming up with the AWS certifications. Why people are looking for AWS in the sense? It is because it is completely open. It doesn't restrict itself like that, Windows platform or something. It talks about every other platform. Nowadays, Mac OS also can be integrated. You can create one Mac OS machine on the AWS, cloud. It's possible. You can share it out. But currently it is available, the physical things, but they are making up the virtual things also, like how the Linux and Windows has been happening on that. Like, so that is about the AWS and Microsoft Azure. Now we are going to talk about that CompTIA Cloud Plus. This Cloud Plus is going to be an open source platform, and it is not going to talk about anything about the vendor certifications available. It is not about the vendor platforms it is going to talk. Means like they will not talk about that AWS, how to configure the things on AWS, how to configure the things on Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or something. They are not bothering about that. What sort of configurations are going to be happening? What commands need to be entered on that? And how do we get the CLI console, API REST console, and how do we get the GUI console or something? That is not the criteria here. It is not about configurations or something. It's not about the commands and the REST API programs or software which you are going to write on that, create some kind of a script or something like that. We are not talking about that. It is talking about more of a generic way, like how the CISSP and the CCSK. I was talking about the CCSK. That is a cloud certified skills, knowledge, something like that will come up. And CISSP, in the sense like it's a high level certifications on the security side. We'll talk about that. So those things are also talking about the cloud nowadays. So in that level, it is not up to that much level. I can just say about the CompTIA Cloud Plus, but it is try to reach that level of the Cloud Plus when we try to do this one, because it is talking about the completely on the cloud only. It talks about the generic frameworks, generic guidelines, and it talks about the network connectivity, database connectivities, and data center creations, and environment creations, like how the software can be integrated to that, how the things can be shared from the cloud platform to the normal VMware platform or something, or on-premises platform or something. It's more of a standards and the generic things it will be talking. Generally, it will talk about that how the cloud need to be operating like. So once you have this kind of a certification, if you are pursuing this one, you will be getting the broader understanding about that how the things are cloud is happening. But still, AWS has got one certification called as a cloud practitioner. But in the cloud practitioner also, they'll talk about the AWS cloud. They don't talk about much about the open things like that. How things are there, what sort of a cloud can be built, like the private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, like so many other clouds are there, community cloud, we call it as. Many things are there. So they are just a touch of all these things, like one or two chapters, not even one or two chapters, also something about some of the like topics. They will just talk about that and they'll directly go to the AWS, or how to configure in AWS, like how do you get into the console, what are the commands are required. AWS CLI is there, and Microsoft Azure CLI is also been there, and we can have the PowerShells as well as. So many other things are there. They will talk about their own certifications as well and their own platforms as well. But when it comes to the CompTIA Cloud Plus, they don't talk about anything on a particular vendor certification or something like that. It is going to be more of general, and you will get the proper idea that how the cloud has been built, what are the basic components that are required for to build the cloud, and how do we integrate your cloud, how do you integrate your on-premises and your local data centers to the cloud, cloud operating system or something, or cloud vendors or something, it's going to be. And the cloud in the sense, it's so many other clouds are also there. When he's talk about OpenStack is also another cloud things and all. And so many other things has been come up. So when we going to this Cloud Plus certification, we will know about the broader understanding of the cloud, how the cloud is operating, and how you integrate your network with the clouds, and how do you create the VPNs and other things, and what are the basic components that has been installed, should be installed in the cloud to talk to your own network. Or you can just take the migration steps, like how you're going to migrate your normal data center databases or applications to get migrated to the cloud, any cloud. So these are all completely coming up like as a generic things. And then how will you create an applications on the cloud-based, cloud-native applications? How do you create that? It's not just only doing the migrations from the local to the cloud or something, but how do you create it in the platform wise itself? In the cloud platform itself, how do you create the third-party applications? How do you integrate those things? And how do you like introduce to your customers or something? How do you go for a multi-cloud connectivity between the AWS, Azure, and the Google connections are happening on this? Means how do you share between the cloud resources with another cloud resources? Something means AWS, when the server has been hosted on AWS, application is being running on AWS, in the sense you will give the the permissions and rights to the people who are from the Azure cloud. So it is like a multi-vendor platforms. How does it been integrated on that? So that level we will be studying about in the Cloud Plus. But I should suggest that instead of going for like AWS has got so many certifications, like solution architect, what is it, sysops admins, and DevOps architect, something like that. It has been there. It's the same way Microsoft Azure also having that, and the Google Cloud is also having that. Better if you go through this as a Cloud Plus. So this will be giving you the better knowledge about that, like more or over less, like overall knowledge you will be getting on the cloud operating systems as well on this one. So it's more of a generic level certification. It doesn't talk about anything on the vendor levels or something, or cloud vendor based commands or vendor based configurations, vendor based, like fine tuning or something. It's not talking about that one. So that is about the cloud, CompTIA Cloud. I just come to know about that because some people are asking about CompTIA has got a cloud certification also. Like, why don't you talk about that? So I just took that one today. So this is like, how do I recommend this to the people, in the sense when you are try to learn about the cloud before going into any vendor certifications or something, you can go through this. Books are there are so many versions has been also come up on the CV002, and currently it is running on CV003, means the exam number. I was talking about this Cloud Plus, and CV003 may be available by the December something. I guess it's been already available. There is a lot of slides other which I'm going to run it out. You can just see that. So CompTIA has got a very good name in the market. Better if you are not going for any kind of the local certifications, like the people must be teaching that I'll teach something from AWS, something from Azure, something from Google, like that you'll be a master of all. Like no, don't go further. You don't get certified by doing those things, like here and there, you're just learning some of the things on that. Better you can go for a Cloud Plus on the CompTIA. It'll be giving you the good understanding about the cloud. Then you can pursue your things like that, when to go for, which line to choose for, because AWS has got a many like domains as well, like in the certifications as well. So they'll be giving you the sysops administrator and solution architect level, and as well as they will be giving on the DevOps side, like the DevOps architect you can go for, security architect you can go for, and Alexa and other things like a programming stuff completely, there you can go for that. So this all you will be getting a better understanding when you just start reading about the Cloud Plus. Whether you are going for a certification or not, that doesn't make a sense, but I'm just trying to give you some kind of like you will be getting some ideas about that. What is the Cloud Plus? How does it been started? And before coming into the cloud, that's what I would like to give it to all my students or my own employees who are like friends and colleagues and all. I just used to say them like, if a person would like to learn the cloud, in the sense he just need to have a proper understanding on the operating systems first. Operating system in the sense it is either a Windows operating system or a Linux operating system. He should be having a thorough understanding about that. And if he knows about the server, it is well and good, because in the cloud, we are talking about the servers only. Only the servers can be installed in the cloud. And all the clients will be sitting on the on-premises only, or maybe the remote clients like that. So server operating system is a very much required one, mandatory, that you should be knowing about the server operating system, either Windows servers or Linux servers or any other Ubuntu servers. Everything is Linux based like that. So when you will be having a good idea about that, how the group policies are made, what are the rights and permissions are given for that, how do you implement the applications to that, how do you integrate the databases to that, how do you start writing the small scripts on that, because when you are coming from the Linux background, in the sense you'll be writing some small scripts on this to make the daily day-to-day job of the sysadmin job. So these are all minimum things which you require, and of course you should know about the network also, because cloud is a network only. It is completely based on the IP address based. It's like you should be having about idea about how the IP addresses are assigned, and how you making a subnets for the different organizations as well, within your organization, different departments as well, and how many sites which are going to integrate on that. How do you connect? What are the devices used for to connect to that? What is the DNS, DHCP? These are all the basic things. Like DHCP used to throw the IP addresses to the clients. DNS is used to resolve the names and the IP addresses and other things. So like these are all the very minimal things which you require for it to get to the cloud. If you are pursuing your certification through the CompTIA only, in the sense, I should recommend strongly that please complete your CompTIA A+ certification, then N+ certification, then come for the cloud certification. That's why it is an order hierarchy. I just see that. So A+ will be talking about operating systems and network operating systems, and like configuring the users and permissions and other things. An N+ certification will give you the proper understanding about the networks, how the network has been built, what cable connectors, topologies, remote access connections, VPNs, security building. All these things has been covered up on the N+. So when you complete your operating system basics and network basics, you can come to the cloud. So once you've been in the cloud, in the sense, you'll be learning a lot about things, because so many services are offered from the cloud. You'll be having very much threatened about that. How many services are there? How do I going to learn about it? Whatever your company is going to do, providing the services to the customers, in the sense, you need to learn those things. But generally, you should be learning around 10 to 15 services on any certification when you go for. Either it's in a Microsoft certification or AWS certification or Google certification when you go for. You'll be learning about what are the basic things are required for that. So those things will be helping you to understand how the cloud is operating, and how do you log into the cloud, and what are the basic components are built up on the cloud. How do you tune it up according to your own standards? How do you share the information between the on-premises to the cloud? And how do you manage the third-party applications which are installed in the cloud plus cloud like that. So these are all basic things which you need to understand that. So the same thing it has been talking on the CompTIA Cloud Plus certification also. So whether to take a certification or not, it makes it's up to you. But I would like to tell you that you should be learning all these things. So let me go through the slides one by one. So this is a CompTIA Cloud Plus. And what is this talking about? It is a global certification that validates the skills needed to deploy and automate the source cloud environment that support a high availability of the business systems and data. It is a only performance-based IT certification that views cloud-based infrastructure services in the context of broader IT systems operations, regardless of the platform. You see that this is a very important. Regardless of the platform, it talks about everything, more generic. Migrating to the cloud presents opportunities to deploy, optimize, protect mission-critical applications and data storage and validates technical skills needed to secure these valuable assets. The reality of operating multi-cloud environment poses a new challenges. CompTIA Cloud Plus is ideal for cloud engineers who need to have expertise across multiple products and systems. This is what I was telling. This is a open, completely it is about the open thing. So it's talk about the multiple cloud on here. So CompTIA Cloud Plus is the only cloud focused certification approved by DoD, offering an infrastructure option for individuals who need to certify an IAM level 1 CSSP analyst, CSSP infrastructure support roles. So you can be a support engineer when you complete your CompTIA Cloud Plus. You can start supporting the cloud operating systems and cloud devices whenever it has been installed on any cloud it is possible, either AWS or Google Cloud or Azure Cloud or Google, whatever other clouds are there. So it gives you that idea about. So let me just jump into the second one. So this is the CompTIA Cloud Plus. Security Degree Hub placed the CompTIA Cloud Plus on the top list of top paying cloud and IT certifications of 2021, saying this certification gives job seekers a competitive boost. As a vendor neutral certification, CompTIA Plus is a good choice for anyone applying for jobs across several platforms. The certification domains include cloud architecture and design, disaster recovery, automation and virtualization, high availability. Without this particular point, no cloud will be operating because we are going for the cloud to have this automation and virtualization only. It ensures the certification holders have the hands-on experience they need to secure the cloud environments regardless of the vendor solution. This makes it a great foundational cloud certification that pairs well with any vendor-specific cloud computing certification. You see that? It's getting paired. So CompTIA Cloud is not an entry-level certification. No, it is meant for the IT pros with 2 or 3 years of experience in system admin or networking. So that's what. When you complete that A plus, then you complete the N plus, and you started working on the industry for at least 2 to 3 years, then you go for a cloud plus. That is what been expected. Else you will be having a lot of questions in your things. A lot of doubts will be there. No one will be able to clear that because they will be asking you to go for a basic level certification, then come to the cloud so that you will get an idea about that. Then, so what skills you are going to learn from this certification? Cloud architecture and design is the first. Then operations and support, cloud security, troubleshooting. The last is cloud deployment. In the cloud architecture and design, analyze the different cloud models to design the best solution to support your business and requirements. Operation and support, maintain and optimize the cloud environment, including proper automation and orchestration procedures, backup and restore operations, and disaster recovery tasks. Cloud security, manage and maintain the servers, including OS configurations, access control and virtualization. This is the cloud security. Troubleshooting, troubleshoot the capacity, automation, connectivity, and security issues related to the cloud implementations. Cloud deployment, this is very important thing. Analyze system requirements to successfully execute workload migrations to the cloud. This is talk about the migrations also. So we will be learning on this Cloud Plus, cloud architecture and design, operations and support, cloud security, troubleshooting, as well as the cloud deployment models. So cloud deployment in the sense we were using a lot of Ansible as well as the Python tools for third-party tools as well. We are using for automations and other things. And again, it will be talking about the migrations also to that. So vMotion is another migration tool we use that. Our third-party tools are there. It's also available for migrating your databases, applications towards the cloud. So we will be learning about everything has been covered over here. Next, CompTIA Cloud Plus C003. What is in this version? This is a new version. This CompTIA Cloud Plus covers greater depth the skills and abilities needed to operate in the cloud, validating that candidates have the technical experience needed to deploy, secure, and automate environments regardless of the vendor solution. Automation and visualization, content, including the approaches such as continuous integration and the continuous development. This is nothing but a CI/CD. We talk about in the DevOps, we talk about the CI/CD, continuous improvement and continuous integration and continuous development, ensuring the candidate have the skills to optimize the cloud to meet the business needs. Then, new updates to the CompTIA Cloud Plus exam domains. High availability is now its own objective, and it is highlighted as an important factor in disaster recovery and security measures. Cloud architecture has been added as a domain, so highlighting the importance of the understanding of foundational technologies and the concepts that comprise the cloud. Like, so we will be having the new things has been covered up on this C003. Better you take that latest certification so that you will be gaining a lot of knowledge as well. Like. Next, so what are the jobs that use the Cloud Plus? Means once you finish your Cloud Plus, what sort of a profiles you will be getting? Senior system administrator. That's what has been told already. Like you should be having at least a 3+ years of certification, 3+ years of experience. Sorry, 3+ years of experience you require to come to the Cloud Plus. Once you have this, then you can be applying for a senior system admin, system engineer, senior network engineer, cloud project manager, cloud engineer, senior system and network administrator, and cloud specialist. These are all the job titles, profiles. You must be getting it when you complete your Cloud Plus and you are applying for that. Next, what are the contents are there in the Cloud Plus that we are going to discuss it now. So as I've told you, like this is a multi-vendor integrated things, and it is not talking about the vendor things. So it is talking about the vendor neutral topics, general frameworks, like guidelines and other things has been given on that. So there are 10 chapters which we are going to discuss on this one Cloud Plus. One is introducing the cloud computing configurations and deployment. That is the first chapter. And second, we will be talking about cloud deployments. We will be seeing by one on the the topics inside that chapters. So chapter 3 is security in the cloud. Chapter 4 is implementing the cloud security. 5 is maintaining and cloud operations. Chapter 6, disaster recovery, business continuity, and ongoing maintenance. Chapter 7 is talking about cloud management. And 8 is talking about cloud management baselines, performance, and SLAs, site level agreements, service level agreements. Chapter 9 is about the troubleshooting of the cloud, and chapter 10 is troubleshooting network and the security issues and understanding the methodologies. So these are all the 10 chapters which are being covered up in your cloud. What is that? CV003. That is the latest exam, Cloud Plus. We'll talk about that. We'll see one by one on the coming up slides. Chapter 1, introducing the cloud computing configurations and deployments. Introducing to the cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Why we are looking about that? How do you define the cloud computing on this? Well, how does it differentiate from the on-premises computing as well as the data center computing something? Virtualization. We need to understand about the virtualization, creating multiple machines on the similar machine itself, like cloud service models. We will be seeing that that is a models like the private cloud, public cloud, and other things. Cloud reference designs and delivery models. Introducing the cloud concepts and components. Connecting to the cloud to the outside world. Means it's not about talking to your company only. You will be giving the open up things to the outside world as well as the third party people. Deciding whether to move to the cloud or not. Yeah, that is a very important feature. Selecting the cloud compute resources, finding out that how much memory we require, how much is the hard disk we require, what the CPU limit we should be going for. That is about the compute resources. Hypervisor affinity rules. This is about your, like either we will be using the hypervisor or we will be using the VMware ESXi or something. Validating and preparing for the move to the cloud, that is for migrations. Choosing elements and objects in the cloud. Internet of Things, IoT is also been covered. Machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is very hot topic. It's been talking in every other cloud models. Creating and validating the cloud deployment. Cloud shared resource pooling model. Organizational uses of the cloud model. And scaling and architecting cloud systems based on requirements. Understanding the cloud performance. Delivering high availability options, operations. Managing and connecting your cloud resources. Is my data safe? Replication and synchronization means whenever you are keeping your data in your own local computer means it's okay. You'll be putting all kind of firewalls and other things. How does it been getting secured when it is been going to the cloud? Because the cloud is open. Everyone thinks in that way, but we can tighten up the security so heavily that people, even cloud also completely secure. Understanding the load balances. Yeah, this is a basic concept. Cloud testing. Then verifying the system requirements, correct scaling for your requirements, making sure the cloud is always available. This is about the availability and the remote management of the VMs. Like RDP will be doing that for a Windows servers, and the SSH configurations we have to do it for Linux servers like that. And monitoring the cloud resources, writing it all down means documentation, keeping it. How many servers created, where it has been running, which zone it has been there, which country has been there, how many people are connected. These are all like that, complete plans, topology, strategy, like that. We'll just make it. Creating the baselines and shared responsibility. So these are all things we will be talking about in the first chapter. In the second chapter, cloud deployments, executing a cloud deployment, understanding the deployment and change management, cloud deployment models, network deployment considerations, service level agreements, and matching the data center resources to the cloud resources. What are available and proposed hardware resources, templates and images, physical resource high availability, introducing disaster recovery DR, physical hardware performance benchmarks, cost savings when using the cloud, energy savings in the cloud, shared versus dedicated hardware resources in the cloud data center, microservices. Continuing, deployment of the storage, because every other storage has been nowadays a cloud storage only. We are all using the Amazon S3 mostly, and all the major companies are also moving towards Amazon because it is a reliable 99.99%. It has been available every time. So how do you go for a storage provisioning, storage priorities, understanding the storage tiers, and managing and protecting your stored data, storage security considerations, accessing your storage in the cloud, performing server migration, different types of server migrations, addressing application portability, workload migration common procedures, examining infrastructure capable of supporting a migration, managing user identities and roles. It is talking about that IAM like that. RBAC means role-based access. Identifying the users and what their roles are. What happens when you are authenticated? Understanding the federation, saying single sign-on, understanding the infrastructure services. Like this, these are all talk about in the chapter 2. Chapter 3, security in the cloud. Cloud security compliance and configurations. Establishing your company's security policies, selecting and applying the security policies to your cloud operations. Some common regulatory requirements, encrypting your data, remote access protocols, automating the cloud security best practices, access control. We'll be writing the access control lists and we'll be doing the firewall like blocking and other things. So we talk about that one here. Accessing cloud-based objects, cloud service models and security, cloud deployment models and security, role-based access control, RBAC, mandatory access control, discretionary access control, multi-factor authentication, single sign-on, and implementing cloud security in the cloud. Data classification. Classification in the sense, how do you make your data is going to be available for the people, certain group of people, certain type of authentication has been made on that. That is a classifications. Segmenting your deployment, implementing their encryptions, applying multi-factor authentication, MFA, means we are getting the code on our Google Authenticator, so we'll be typing that number on that. So that is one of the multi-factor authentication method. Regulatory and compliance issues during the implementations. Cloud access security broker. Automating the cloud security, automation tools, techniques for implementing cloud security, security services. Maintaining the cloud operations, applying security patches, patching the cloud resources, patching the methodologies, patching order of operations and dependencies. Patching in the sense, bug fixing. Every other operating system, applications, or even the routers, switches, and other hardwares as well, all network equipments, everything need to be properly patched. Because of that, we will be avoiding the attacks and other things that are happening through the entire like internet or something. Because cloud is an internet. When it is an internet, there is attacks that keep on happening on that. So we just need to have the proper patches need to be applied to that. That we will be talking about that maintaining the cloud operations, updating the cloud element, that is a hot fix, patches, version update, rollback, workflow automation, continuous integration and the continuous development, virtualization automation tools and activities, storage operations, type of backups, backup targets, backup and restore operations. These are all talking about the cloud operations on this. Chapter 6 is about disaster recovery, business continuity, and ongoing maintenance. This is a business continuity plan. We normally call it as like a BCP. BCP, that is a business continuity plan, BR. So these are all the two things you will be talking about whenever you are moved to the level 3 people or something like that. So service provider responsibilities and capabilities, because we should be connecting our resources through the service provider only. Because with the service provider, the lease lines or broadband connections or like MPLS connectivity, through that only we are connecting to that. So we need to talk about the responsibilities and capabilities of that. Disaster recovery models and techniques. Business continuity. Establishing the BCP, that is a business continuity plan. Establishing service level agreements. Cloud maintenance, establishing maintenance windows, maintenance interruptions to the operations, maintenance automation impact and scope, common maintenance automation tasks. So this is a very important chapter when the people are moving towards level 3 of the persons or something. So they require to know all these things because it should not impact the production or business or something when you are doing the maintenance or something. So we just need to take a proper maintenance window for that prior informing the customers about that. So many things are there. It has been discussed on this. Then the next 7 is the cloud management, cloud metrics. Metrics is about the performance management we talk about, monitoring your deployment, cloud support agreements, standard cloud maintenance responsibilities, configuration management applications and tools, change management processes. It talk about the process and other things. Adding and removing the cloud resources, determining usage patterns and busting, migrating between the cloud providers. You see that you can even migrate the machine from AWS to Azure. That's possible. That is the migrations between the cloud providers. Scaling the resources to meet the requirements, extending the scope of cloud, understanding application life cycles, organizational changes, managing account provisioning, account identification, authentication and authorizations, lockout policies, password complexity, account automation and orchestration. So this is a very, this is talking about more of an IAM. IAM in the sense it is a identity and access management. Here it is everything is coming up. Account modifications, authorization accounting, lockout policies, password complexity. Means like we'll be making like 8 characters, 15 characters. Nowadays it has been 12 characters has been coming up as standard because people are very easily cracking the 8 words and other 8 characters and other things. So 12 characters will be automatically generated and it's been given to you. There are password generators are there. We are using those password generators for mission critical applications. So remembering those things will be a bigger problem. So we need to keep a password manager for that. So these are all we are talking about. All the process level things we are talking about this in the cloud management things. So let's go to the next one. 8. Cloud management baselines, performance and SLAs. Measuring your deployment against a baseline, object tracking for baseline validation, applying changes to the cloud to meet the baseline requirements. Means like a standard templates, we will be applying it to all the equipments, whichever we start managing things, so that it will be uniformly, it can be managed. It's about some of the projects which we manage, I'm telling that. So same way, we can do the cloud management baselines also will create. But these baselines will be different, differ between the customers as well, because they would like to add some more points, bullet points to that. Or some customers will ask us to remove these, or all these are not required for us. It's not so critical application. That's why we are keeping it. Like we just trying, like try to understand how the cloud is operating for that. So like some of the baselines, like a benchmarks which we are going to create, and changing operations to meet the expected performance and capacity requirements. So for example, if you just install a server, that server is having the 64 core, is being the 64 core CPU with the 128 GB RAM, and then near about 8 GB of the hard disk has been given on that. Application has been installed and that it is running on that. But by just seeing that people are, like when the traffic is coming up more and more, this machine is getting slower, and the people are talking about that latency between applications accessing and other things. So then we have to go for a capacity requirements. We need to redo the designing to go for a better, higher machines on this. That time we just need to talk about migrations as well. Either otherwise, what we need to do, the new requirements has to go to the newer computer as well, means a new machines or something, new virtual machines, and the old requirements can continue. Then in the back end, we will be doing the slowly, like that. We'll just start migrating all this into the new machines as well. Like so many things has been done, because we just need to know the business should not be getting affected on that. So, and the cloud accounting, chargeback, and reporting and other things. Reporting is a very important. So reports need to get properly generated. It should be properly sent to the customer assignment required. Weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly reports. This report generation is a bigger thing, but we have automation for the reports also. Like we create the reports by just doing the running a script. Everything is a script based over here in cloud. So we will talk about this all performance baselines and SLAs on the chapter 8. This will be giving you the general framework like that. Next, 9th is a troubleshooting, incident management, incident types, logging incidents, prioritizing incidents, preparations, templates, time synchronization, workflow. These are all very much important for even for our normal on-premises equipments also. We already been doing that for on-premises equipments. We are doing the incident types. We will make it as like a severity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, according to the criticality of that, priority of that. Then logging their incidents, which are all the incidents are going to get logged on that, how, what levels need to be assigned for this. By seeing the error messages, we will be assigning the tickets values to that. And prioritizing the incidents, and prioritizing in the sense which is very much critical, which is okay that to go for. Maybe it can be solved in a 1 day, or it has to be solved immediately, or it can be solved in half day, something like that. We just finalizing that. That is nothing about the prioritizing the incidents, preparations and templates, creating the templates for to do the routine operations for that. Time synchronization, very important thing. Even in our on-premises equipments also, we used to synchronize the timing according to that customer's headquarters where it has been located or something. Workflow need to be created on this. Troubleshooting the cloud capacity issues, capacity boundaries in the cloud. Troubleshooting in the sense like when things are goes wrong, when people are talking about that, even though things are very much easily to be accessible in the sense, but they will be facing the latency. Maybe it is very far away against the customer where he is originally located. Means if the customer is staying in Europe, when you try to put the servers in Singapore, in the sense there is a lot of latency, definitely it will be coming up because everything has been depend on the network connectivity only. Better try to find out the data center locally in Europe itself. So these are all the boundaries which we talk about, capacity boundaries and other things. And troubleshooting the automation and orchestration, process and workflow issues. Automation and orchestration. Orchestration is nothing but like that, installing the things in a group of things like that, we just orchestrate all these things. Automation is for like, they will be doing the routine activity as well as the changes, whichever it has been performed on this, we will be going for an automation things. Ansible has been mostly preferred, even for Windows as well as Linux box automations, as well as network automations, we are using Ansible. And Python has also been very much in demand. Python has got so much wide variety of things can be given, modules and like roles and other things can be installed, but it requires a proper training for the people for that. So anyway, so this we will be talking on the chapter 9, the troubleshooting on this. Now, how do you troubleshoot all this? Right? The next one, it's troubleshooting networking and security issues under understanding the methodologies. Cloud networking issues, security issues. Identifying the common networking issues in the cloud. What common networking problem can come up? Reachability issues will be there. Ping servers not getting pinged. It is not reachable. When I try trace out, there are some drops are happening on this. due to some kind of, the server's capacity is not been there. That's why it is always, responding so lately. And it is properly the IP address and the mask is not been properly configured. And the DNS entries are not been properly made. The DHCP IP is not been properly given. Like a normal, whatever the network issues which we face in the on-premises on our own local data centers, same similar issues we will be facing on the cloud also. Everything is because TCP based only. So we will be facing all these problems. And how to troubleshoot that, identify. The network troubleshooting and connectivity tools. Connectivity tools, we will be using that bandwidth meter, something like that, just checking that. So with that, we will be checking on this and we will be having that because whenever you try to build a cloud server in the sense, we just need to have a proper understanding of what application is going to run on that and how much memory requirement is required and how many network cards which we are going to make. That means in the network cards are many. In the cloud, we will be getting the GBPS level also, like we'll get the NICs, we can install it on this. Whether it is required or not, that's a very much important thing because when maybe like server hardware may be very good, but the network card which we chosen may not be talking to the network, may not be talking to the network properly. So that we have to increase that bandwidth on that card itself. Like, so we should be talking about the connectivity things, remote access tools like RDP and trace path, pinging, like so many other things. Wireshark, we can use that to troubleshoot that where the packets are getting dropped. What is the IP address has been access to that. Like, so we go with all our cloud networking issues. Then the security issues, account privilege escalations, network access issues, authentication, authorization, federation, certificate configuration issues. This always come with the SSL certificates. Normally, all the web servers are not properly maintained with the SSL because whenever there is a SSL certification, like expired or something, we just need to go for an upgradation on this. Then HTTPS cannot be run on that. So this is a very common problem which is faced on the multiple services because a server, a client will be running around 300 to 400 servers on that. So all certification need to be properly upgraded on this. The device hardening is nothing about the OS hardening. Settings, external attacks, internal attacks, maintain the sufficient security controls and processes, network access tunneling and encryptions. So these are all like network as well as security issues because tunneling and encryption can be created only on the firewalls. So we need to be understanding the networks as well as the encryptions as well. So it's overall, how do you troubleshoot the networking and security issues by using the methodologies on this. So, and troubleshooting methodology goes like this: identifying the problem, establishing a theory, testing the theory, creating and implementing a plan of action, verifying the resolution, documenting the ordeal. Means like this is how we normally troubleshoot it. When a computer is not connected to the network in the sense, we'll just ask about whether you are connected through the wired or you are connected through the wireless. If he is connected through the wireless in the sense, we'll ask him to come near to the AP, access points are there. Or if he's connected to the cable connections or something, like we'll just ask him to remove that cable and put it back again. Like that, we just ask him. Then we'll ask him to check the server connectivity by just pinging it like this. That is nothing about identifying the problem. Then establishing all these things, creating and implementing a plan of action. Then we may be asking for him to go to the next cube or something like that, just sit down there and try to connect it from there so that we can able to isolate the issues. So verifying the resolutions, documenting the audio. This is a very basic thing which I told you. But when it goes to the server reachability or database reachability and other things, we just need to implement a plan of actions. Like, so for that, we require a proper benchmarking values. How much the ping response has to come when it is in a good response like that. Within how many hops this particular server need to get reached. So these are all the benchmark values which we will be making it whenever we are creating a new project or something. So we will be able to, like comparing things when problem has been existing so that we can find out which path is giving the issues or something. So these are all troubleshooting methodology. So these are all the 10 chapters which we discussed about this. So based on these 10 chapters, we will be learning all these things. Like, let me go through that again back here. So introducing cloud computing configuration and deployments, cloud deployments, security in the cloud, implementing cloud security, maintaining cloud operations, DR, business continuity, that is a BCP and maintenance, cloud management, baselines, performance and SLAs, troubleshooting. So once we will be learning all these things in the sense, you will get an overall general idea about that. How do we go for multi-vendor cloud environment integrations along with your on-premises and your local data centers as well. So these are all the things we'll be learning on this one. I should say that better if we just learn all these things, at least these 10 chapters, if we just go through that, you'll be getting the proper understanding to go to the CISSP level. I can recommend this. And the CCSK also, Cloud Security Knowledge, something like that. Okay, and what are the exams or the exam codes? The current exam is like CV003 and the old exam is a CV002. Better you go for a CV003 because that is available from 2021, maybe like 2 months before it was there. 002 is 2018 it is. So you can go for this latest one. Exam description. Cloud Plus validates the skills needed to deploy and automate secure cloud environment that support the high availability business and systems data. Number of questions is 90. So this is about this emphasis and other things are there. Actually, better if you not talk about this. Better you go for CV003. And it talks about emphasis on incorporating managing cloud technologies as part of broader system operations. It assumes a candidate will weave together solution that meet the specific business needs and work in a variety of different industries. Includes the new technologies to support the changing cloud market as more organizations depend on cloud-based technologies and other things. So question-wise, both are same only. Number of questions are 90 only. Let's go to the next slide. So it's continuing about the exam information. And the type of questions are multiple choice and performance based. Here it is a performance based, means like a scenario based questions will be asked. Performance based and multiple choice, there is no difference as such in this. And the length of test is 90 minutes as usual, same. Passing score is 750 and recommended experience 2 to 3 years, like network plus and server plus, 2 to 3 years of experience in the systems and administration and networks. And here it is a system administration, similarly same. Languages, it is available only in English. Here you can find in like Japanese also. And usually 3 years after the launch, retirement. And it is getting retired on 2021. Better you go for a CV003 one day. And the testing providers and online testing is available as well as the testing centers. You can go to the Pearson view. And what is the price? $338, near about $340. $340 in the sense. So near about 20 something it will come up. Indian rupees 20,000 something will be coming up. So better you go for this latest certification so that you will be getting the good market in that. How do you compare that Cloud Plus comparisons with the like other certifications? What are the other certifications? CSSP and CCSSP, it is Cloud Security Professional, and it is Amazon Web Services, Microsoft certified. Azure sir, exam length is one exam 90 minutes, 125 questions in 4 hours. This is CSP, and this is here is 180 minutes, and there is a 2 exams you need to write in Azure exam. But in Cloud Plus, you can write only 1 exam. Experience level 2 to 3 years of experience, 5 years in ID, and here's the 3 years in InfoSec and 1 exam domain like that. 2+ years experience on the Amazon. Intermediate to carriers and other. Performance-based questions are not there in CCSP as well as in AWS and other things. It is not there. Only performance-based questions are available on Cloud Plus. Then some more comparisons. Exam focus, job role focus based, covers the cloud technologies regardless of vendors and platforms. This ISC2 certification is not based on job roles. It covers cloud security across the job roles. AWS covers only Amazon products and solutions. Microsoft, it covers only Microsoft products. Prerequisites, less than 5 years, negligibly 5 years total ID experience, 2 to 3 years in networking and system administration. Here for a CCSSP, you require experience. Here you don't require any experience at all. You can just directly go for that, but I don't recommend that. And vendor neutral is there in the cloud as well as in the CCSP. But cloud neutral is not available in AWS and Microsoft because they are all vendor-based like that. So the exam code is CV003. Cloud Plus covers competency in cloud models, virtualization, infrastructure, security, resource management, and business continuity. Number of questions are 90. Type of questions, multiple choice and performance based. Length of test is 90 minutes. Passing score is 750. Language is available only in English. For India, it's not a problem at all. Recommended experience, at least 2 to 3 years of experience in the industry. CompTIA Network Plus and Server Plus is required, or equivalent knowledge. So A plus, N plus, Server Plus, you can go for this. And familiarity with any major hypervisor technology for server virtualization, that is required. You should have been working with the hypervisor in Microsoft platform or in a VMware platform like an ESX Plus. And a knowledge of cloud service models, knowledge of IT service requirement management, hands-on experience with at least one or public cloud, private cloud, AWS platforms, infrastructure as a service platform, cloud plus exam renewal. This is a 3 years anyway, validity is there. If you like to have some kind of questions on this, how to renew your exams or something, you can go to this link, certification.comptia.org/continuing-education. That will be giving you the, the experience about that. What is the procedure for that renewal and other things will be. So we come up to the conclusion on this. So now I just finished my, like running up all this, the things on this. If you have any questions on your mind, you can ask me about this certifications and other things. You can subscribe to my channel, YouTube channel, that is Ramnath Kesaf, and you can send me an email on stuckroute@gmail.com. You can call me or WhatsApp on this number, which is displayed on your screen. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And if you are looking for any kind of certifications as well, and the cloud, security, network-based, or automation things, server-based Linux and Windows servers like that, I am ready to take that on. And if you have any questions in your mind, you can ask me now, or you can type it on the Zoom chat as well. And as usual, I would like to request you to people to, encourage people to watch my channel, and they can subscribe to my channel as well. It's a free, all the, about last 1 year, I'm running the channel. So there are so many topics which I talk about that. And real labs also, I shown you on some other videos as well. I uploaded that. And I will be uploading this video in next couple of, minutes or something. Maybe like in half an hour, I'll just upload this. And as usual, if you have any questions in your mind, you can ask me the questions, or you can put me in the Zoom chat. I'll be giving you your doubts. I'll just clear your doubts on this. And you can contact me for any certifications on cloud, AWS, Amazon, as well as Azure, and cloud certifications, as well as when you look for a firewall, things like Palo Alto, Checkpoint, Fortinet, ASA, Juniper SRX. And FI platform for the load balancers, it's an LTM, GTM, as well as the ASM. Now I'm preparing for APM also. It will be available by next month. Like that. So you can ask me your questions now. I'm very much open to that. And moreover, I would like to have your email addresses so that I can send you this PPDs and the recordings also to your email. Will not disturb you with any other things. Don't worry about that. So I will be giving you only the recordings and as well as the things also. Okay, Jayant has given. Other people also can give it, because I will be sending this all to the people in next couple of minutes. You'll be getting these informations. Hello. Only one person has given. Other people also can give it. Okay, Peter has given that, and I'll be sharing all these things to the people in next half an hour. Don't worry about that. Okay. So if you have any questions on Cloud Plus, CompTIA, or any cloud related certifications as well, you can talk to me on any time, and you can WhatsApp me, and I'll be sending you this information to all the people. Like Kuldeep has given, Peter has given, Jayant has given. Other people also can be given this. Yes, it's possible. Okay, then if don't have any other questions as well in your mind, so that I can just go ahead and close this meeting. Yeah,
so Ramnath, you will be providing a training on this Cloud Plus?
Of course, yes. I prepared already for all these things, and slides and other things, topics and the generic technologies as well. Like I have the PDF copy of this Cloud Plus certifications. I purchased that. It's a new certification, like a CV003. That is, I can even share it out with you people who are enroll to this certification as well, Cloud Plus. But I would like you to have a basic understanding of the network, server, virtualizations to come up to this Cloud Plus certification. Even though I will just give you some kind of an introduction to that, but better if you have at least 2 to 3 years experience in the industry. Either it is in a service field or in a, like if you're a programmer or you are like a manager or something, it will be best, because this is more of talking about the Cloud Plus is talking about the not much practicals or labs or something. It talks about standards and like frameworks, guidelines and other things. So I prepared already for this Cloud Plus, not a problem. I can able to deliver this session for you. You can you can tell me about your skills and your expectations towards this certification.
So how much time it will take for completing this training?
So this is about the 10 chapters. Even if you take about that, one chapter can go for at least near about 4 to 5 hours in the sense. The 10 chapters may be around 40 hours, 40 to 50 hours we can complete that. Daily 2 hours if we take that, maybe like 20 days, 25 days we can complete. But I would like to give it to you like a more of things from my side. So I have prepared some PPTs for that. So I'll share it with you. Then I'll be teaching on these things. Better I will like to show you something on Azure, Google Cloud, as well as in the AWS also, because then only you will be understanding all these things. Rather just talking about the theoretical things or something, you maybe get bored. So I will be showing you these things because we can create some free accounts on AWS and almost on all three major cloud platforms. So I will be showing you that. So duration, if you talk about that, maybe like 25 days, I can just say per day, 2 hours, we can go through that and we can have it. Yeah. Any other doubts about this certification? You can ask.
Last question that I'm not sure whether this can be discussed on this particular platform, that how much would be the cost of this training?
Training cost,
At
I'll
your
be
end.
sending you. I'll be sending you the details. You can put your Gmail address or email address to the, in the chat itself. I'll be talking to you, or we can just talk over the next couple of minutes. I can talk to you one-on-one on this about the fees and other structures as well. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Is it Peter? Is it Peter? Who's talking actually? Can you tell your name, please?
Kuldeep.
Kuldeep. Okay. Yeah. Kuldeep, we can talk now. Let me finish this one because I just need to prepare this recording to be uploaded to the YouTube. So maybe like 5 to 10 minutes I'll be free. Then I'll just try to directly ping you. Otherwise, you can just ping me on this WhatsApp now only. I'll be answering you next 10 to 15 minutes on this one. Then we can start the conversation towards this. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuldeep. Okay, then if any other questions, you can directly WhatsApp me or you can send an email to me. And again, I'll be requesting you people like, please subscribe to my channel so that every week I will be updating the new chapters and the new topics I'll be talking about that. It is more of a knowledge sharing from my side. So subscribe to me, and as well as you can introduce my channel to your friends as well. So thanks for joining today, and the next week, as usual, we'll be coming up with the new topic as well. So now I am going to end this meeting. Thanks for joining all the people. Thanks. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.